Welcome to the Explainer. All right, today we're going to talk about two terms that, are the absolute bedrock of any business, but so many people mix them up. Bookkeeping and accounting. They sound kind of the same, right? But trust me, they are worlds apart. And getting this difference right, it's pretty crucial for success.
So, what's the big deal? Is this just about semantics, a simple difference in words? Or is there something deeper going on here? Does it actually tell us something really important about how a business thinks about its money? Let's dive in and find out. Okay, first things first. We have to start at the very beginning, with the foundation of, all financial information, and that's bookkeeping. This is ground zero, where every single number starts its life. So what is it really? To put it simply, bookkeeping is all about that day-to-day grind of recording every single financial thing that happens. Seriously, everything. You can almost think of it like a company's financial diary. Every sale, every purchase, every payment, it all gets written down right as it happens.
And here's the really important part. Bookkeeping is totally objective. Its job isn't to ask why or to make any judgments. Nope. Its only goal is to create a complete, super accurate, chronological record of what happened. That raw data, that unbiased history, that's the fuel that makes the whole financial engine run.
All right, so we've got our foundation. Now let's talk about accounting and see how it builds on top of everything we just laid down. I love this analogy. If bookkeeping is about collecting all the bricks, accounting is about actually building the house. Okay, so you see, accounting takes all that raw data and actually puts it to work. It doesn't just record it. It starts by sorting it, classifying it, summarizing it, but then it gets really interesting. It goes way deeper, analyzing for patterns, and then, this is the key, interpreting what those patterns actually mean. And that's how a boring list of transactions turns into this incredibly powerful tool that helps you make smart decisions.
And that right there is exactly why people call accounting the language of business. It's not just about holding on to data. It's about communicating it. It tells a story, a really clear story about how the company's doing, about its financial health. And that story is for everyone. Owners, investors, managers. It's basically how a company looks at itself in the mirror and explains what it sees.
All right, we've looked at both of them, so now let's put them side by side. Let's really nail down the core difference in what they do and where they do it.
So if you remember one thing, let it be this. Bookkeeping is the first step, right? It's all about getting the data recorded. Its job is finished as soon as those records are complete and accurate. But accounting, that's the next step. It picks up right where bookkeeping stops and asks that all-important question, okay, so what do all these numbers actually mean?
Now, as you can probably guess, this huge difference in what they do, it also means there's a big difference in the kind of skills you need and who's actually doing the work. And you can really see this when you look at the jobs themselves. Bookkeeping, it's absolutely vital, and it's super detail-oriented. It's often handled by more junior staff whose main job is to be precise. But accounting, that's a whole different ballgame. It requires a totally different skill set. You have to be able to analyze, to interpret, and then to actually give strategic advice based on what you find. There's a reason it's a more senior role. So here's the bottom line. It's not about which one is better. You absolutely cannot have one without the other. Think about it. Bookkeeping gives you the raw, trustworthy data. But it's accounting that turns that data into actual usable information, the kind of insights that guide the whole strategy and push the business forward. They're a team. One totally feeds the other.
So at the end of the day, this whole conversation isn't really about some dry textbook definitions, is it? It's about the system a business puts in place to understand itself, to tell its own story. So the real question you should be asking isn't just what's the difference? The real question is, if accounting really is the language of business, what story is your business telling?